second?
Second.
Have a motion second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Minutes approved. Okay, department comments, Mr. LaFoy. There you are.
How are y'all today?
Mr. Crowe, I'm sorry you're out of order.
You wanna vote to get me out, kick me out?
Sorry.
So that's what we brought in front of committee the other week. Pier 43 is wanting to add on to their docks and move their fueling station out onto a dock also. We'll put some walkways in. There can be some transient docks, a boat launch, some floating walkways where they already have floating walkways, but they flood when it rains. So it'll be raising that up. Some boat return docks and 9 additional wet slips for rental. This is what the marina looks like now. And this is the proposed, all the red is proposed. And what they're wanting to do is all meets best practices. We have had one issue where they're getting close to a property line. I got them to take a slip off to shorten the pier to get them at least 15 to 18 feet off the property line for the neighbor.
Looks good.
Yeah.
So you're happy? I'm happy since we got them backed off the property line. The neighbor had talked a little bit about how close to his pier. His pier is dead on the line. So I got him some space, so I'm happy with that.
Okay, any questions, Mr. LaFoy? Thank you, sir. Mayor Maddox.
Yes, sir. Coming up this Thursday, we have our next town hall meeting. We'll be in Mr. Lanier's district, so it'll be from 6 to 7. We had a great meeting, a longer than expected meeting in districts for districts 1 and 2 last week, but both of y'all did a fantastic job.
Thank you, so you did.
I know, Mr. Lanier, you're having to go out of town unexpectedly, and you'll be missed. So my common refrain is going to be, I don't understand why that's not happening. Mr. Lanier said he was going to take care of it.
That's right, that's right. I'll pay you back.
Understand.
You'll hear it.
But you will be missed, but looking forward to that at Skyland Elementary. Then our last will be Catch a Taste, September 7th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. in
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Tyner's
Bye.
district. So looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
A couple of other quick things. First is the school parking tickets or parking tickets to pay school supplies. And don't get school parking tickets, by the way, either would be a nice note. But if you would like an opportunity to make a difference in our community and possibly pay off a parking ticket, please consider doing this. I know our team down in Municipal Court, Jessica and her team members are doing a good job leading this as a way to give back to our kids. As I mentioned to you last week, as a parent, it is expensive to send your children to school. And there's a lot of families in our community that need help getting that backpack completely full, and this is a good way of making it happen. And for more information, you can go to Tuscaloosa.com. This afternoon, I will be presenting the fiscal year 24 budget. Look forward to doing that. Will likely last about an hour. Certainly, I'll be thanking our staff during that time, but really very proud of this budget we're presenting to you and can't wait to share it. 2 other quick things. One is I sent you a note regarding honoring 3 community members. We will have that discussion next Tuesday in public safety. I've been really for the last couple months been informing you of where we were leaning. Very excited about doing that, and then I sent to you also a proposed timeline that if you adopt that, when we would look at honoring those individuals. So if you have any questions coming up this week, please let me know, but the formal process required by council ordinance begins next Tuesday in Ms. Howard's committee. So we will be presenting that to you and look forward to doing so. We're really excited about that. That's the fun stuff. That's the exciting stuff. And frankly, when you read what these individuals have done for our city, it just truly is astonishing. It makes you proud to call Tuscaloosa our home. Last, but certainly not least, as I texted you earlier today, on Thursday, I'll be presenting to the Chamber of Commerce Public Affairs Committee here at City Hall at 3:30 on Thursday afternoon regarding the Internet Sales Tax, better known as SSUT. And so it's really a lot of work that's been done by our team that I look forward to sharing. If you get an opportunity, I'd love for the council to attend. It is certainly, it's a revenue matter that today doesn't pose a great problem for the city. In 5 years, it will create an urgent problem if we do not begin getting that addressed.
That's the 24th.
It is actually this coming Thursday.
Oh, it's this Thursday.
This Thursday, and so at 3:30 in the council chambers. And so I actually asked for the meeting as an opportunity. The Big Ten mayors are sharing this information with our local business communities, and so I think you'll find it very interesting. I know Mr. Fell, I know you'll be on my 10. I'll make certain that we send you a PDF of the presentation. It may be the most boring hour in your life, but yet it has everything to do with protecting Main Street and also protecting public safety and everything else we do here at the city. That's all I have, Mr. Tyner.
Okay, thank you very much, Mayor. Chris.
All right, now come on. Good afternoon, Council. Just wanted to take a minute to introduce our newest supervisor, Travis Thompson. So these are the faces, the guys that go out day to day and talk to your constituents when we have issues. Travis is our newest one. He's been with the city about 10 years. He oversees a crew of 20, and he does recycling and also handles our recycling plant operations. I'm going to introduce these two guys, even though they've been supervisors a long time. I figured I'd introduce them while we were here. Reginald Smith's been with the city about 21 years. He oversees our garbage operations and oversees about 25 men. Barnes Heath, he's over our trash crews. He's been with the city 11 years and oversees about 42 of our men. So 86 men combined is what these guys oversee day to day at the environmental services. I wanted y'all to put a face with a name, so when I'm talking to y'all during the week, you know who's going out.
I'm one of your best customers, particularly this week and last week. Chris, how have y'all accelerated the pickup schedule during last week and this week?
Yes, sir. We've, especially on the trash side, y'all know what the UA move in, we've been accelerated on all aspects of garbage, trash, and recycling. So when we say accelerated, we're putting extra trucks in different locations at different times that normally won't have that many trucks. Barnes is big on that. We have around 10 containers staged out around the campus area to handle the increase in volume there. These supervisors ride the routes. If Reginald or Travis sees an increase in their trash, in their garbage or their recycling, we'll pull trucks and send them there after they completed their daily routes.
Thank y'all. It makes a difference and people notice it.
How are our team members holding up in this heat for the
Sorry?
last six to 8 weeks? I know the heat's been tremendous. How are our team members holding up?
They've been going through some water and some Gatorade. Yeah. That's one thing we provide for them starting this year, so they really
Cool.
They've really come on with it. And we have, I know Phil puts out water. There's certain people that put out water for them on their routes, and they greatly appreciate that.
And Chris, let me thank you. You've come in doing a lot of great work. I appreciate how you're working. We had a situation in my district that you took care of just in a matter of hours. I want to thank y'all for what y'all do on a day-to-day basis. We need y'all, just like we need every other entity of our city. We need y'all.
Well, thank y'all. I wanted y'all to put a face with a name.
And if you want to get a scent, if you hadn't been over between 15th Street and University, Hackberry and Queen City, go take a look. But bolt on your armor plating because they are driving like madmen down there.
Chris, you got your hours, you sent us out the hours you're gonna continue.
Yes, sir. So year round, we'll be doing 10-hour shifts starting at 6 a.m. year round instead of Labor Day. We would usually switch to 7. We're going to keep it 6 a.m. year round for consistency for all our citizens and customers and y'all's constituents, but also to keep these guys out of the heavy traffic for school traffic at 7 a.m.
Sure.
It puts them in a safer work environment. Also, it allows us to be a little bit more efficient.
And I had to remind myself and others too, though, for those who don't put their card out the night before, if you get missed the next day, it's because it is an hour earlier.
That's
a lot of
right.
times your pickup, so
So just get it out the night before.
that's the best thing to do.
That's right. All right.
So you don't have to go back to somebody's house that we all know.
Hey, that's, thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Mr. Holmes.
Good afternoon, council.
Afternoon.
I got just a short bit up here with you today. They're giving me a bit of a break. I am way down at the bottom of your first page, where on page 6 you'll be saying the cost for demolition of the structure at 3259 18th Street and authorizing the filing of a lien. Then on page 7 you'll be saying the cost for demolition of the structure at 2005 Dinah Washington Avenue and authorizing the filing of a lien. Then skipping the item on page 8 that Mr. LaFoy went over will be on page 9, where you'll be authorizing the city of Tuscaloosa to make application to the U.S. Department of Transportation for the fiscal year 2023 Protect Planning Grant and authorizing the mayor to execute the same on behalf of the city. That came from projects. I believe that's actually doubled up on projects today. Sorry, I had trouble believing that we were already to the 15th. On page 10, you'll be authorizing the execution of agreements and related documents for various city events. This includes the Mayor's Cup, Druid City Arts Festival, Farmers Market, Live at the Plaza, etc. That was discussed with Ms. Day on last week on projects. On page 11, you'll be authorizing termination of the master agreement and amendments number 1 and 2 and 3 with JP Morgan Chase Bank. This came from finance last week. On page 12, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a master commercial card agreement with JP Morgan Chase Bank. This also was on finance committee last week. On page 13, you'll be authorizing minor public works contract with Night Sign Industries. This is a total of $10,540 and was on projects last week. On page 14, you'll be authorizing the purchase of equipment from ARI Hetra. This is a total of $60,102.28 for power mobile column lift system. This comes from the Tuscaloosa Fire Rescue Fleet and Purchasing. On page 15, you'll be authorizing the purchase of equipment, supplies, or services. That's a total of $2,944. This is for fire station improvements and again comes from purchasing. On page 16, you'll be amending exhibits A and B of the section 1942 of the Code of Tuscaloosa. This is for water and sewer and environmental services. That was in admin on the 1st. That is all I have on the agenda. We do have 2 short items for executive session today.
A quick question, Ms. Standridge, on page 14. How does that, so that equipment, that $60,000 of fire equipment, is that the account number down there? What is that? It says funding required, yes, and then it's got a long account number there.
I'm just getting to so that is our general ledger account number. Really the first 3 numbers are the ones that tell me what fund it's from. So 701 is ARP fund. That's the ARP funding. I can look up the org and object, but it's basically for the fleet. It's for fire truck equipment.
It's ARP money that we've set aside to expend on fire and police items. Is that what it is?
Well, on fire fleet items, yes.
he knows.
He's somebody pushed the buzzer in his seat. He's up on his feet. Go ahead, Chief.
Yes, sir, no, this is ARP money that was approved for us for fleet services. We're buying a lift that allows our fleet officer to be able to raise a fire truck in the shop and be able to do work under it.
Okay, and Ms. Standard, so that routes through contracting or purchasing. It doesn't come to us us in finance as an item to be reviewed.
So the budget was originally set in prior year fiscal year budget processes. This is probably about a year and a half old from when it was originally budgeted.
All right, I got you. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, projects 2:30, then finance at 3:15. We'll have the mayor's budget
We brought popcorn.
presentation.
We can, if you'd like. Although it was ruled at one time you couldn't do that.
Yeah, I remember it well.
What was that?
Mayor DuPont banned popcorn. because he said everywhere, and it was true everywhere. You thought you were in a movie theater at one time. Everybody was popping popcorn. And you could smell popcorn everywhere. And they gonna have no popcorn no more. All right. Projects, the community development after the mayor's presentation, council meeting at 6, planning and zoning Monday at 5 o'clock. All right, is there a motion? We go into executive session.
Make a motion. Second.
Motion second, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, sir. As your city attorney and attorney licensed to practice law in the state of Alabama, I can certify that this executive session is to discuss security plans, procedures, assessments, measures, or systems, or the security or safety of persons, structures, facilities, or other infrastructures, the public disclosure of which could reasonably be expected to be detrimental to public safety or welfare.
Okay, we have a motion second. All in favor, we go into executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?